as presented.
Well, do you
Oh,
add that gym roof bid in old business?
before we adopt the agenda, I need to add, yes, thank you.
Sorry, I should have.
In old business, we are adding the gym roof bid that we received back, so. So I motion we adopt the agenda as presented, adding gym roof bid to old business.
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this different now.
After this one, can we get through that one?
Okay, yeah, after this, we're gonna do roll call vote. Patty will do roll call. It'll be random for every action item that we have. It'll be random, just so the same person doesn't, Kelly doesn't have to be last or have it rotate. So it'll be a random roll call vote every action item that we have on the agenda. And Patty will have that ready for us whenever we go. And she'll call your last name, you give your vote, and we'll move on and go through that.
See how quickly I forget.
You guys are pretty automatic though.
Can we only do that for, no, I'm just kidding. I won't be. Okay, delegation. Do we have any delegation? Don't believe so. All right. Okay, next we will be, let me get to the right page here. We have the organization of our board officers, so not us, because we resolved that to be done in January. But we do need to make the appointments. I make the appointment of our district treasurer as Pam Whitmer. This is not an action, this is just a statement, okay? Appointment of board clerk Patty Brenner, appointment of deputy clerk Michelle Martin, appointment of attorney Michael Kaufman from KASB.
No, that's Michael Kaufman and KAS.
Oh,
Yeah, both.
and, all right, okay, I wasn't the only one that didn't know that. And, all right, anything on that? We will be establishing our regular board meetings, second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. And I believe,
Is there any consideration of moving that time up? I know that's the way it's always been, but I just thought I'd throw it out there to see. 7 o'clock's pretty late. It sounds like Dave is a late arriver at times. I don't know what other situations are, but I thought I'd throw it out there to see if that's a possibility, something to consider, moving the times up.
That wouldn't work well for me to go
Okay.
earlier.
I was gonna say, I roll in about 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, okay, I just thought I'd ask and see if that was a possibility. Okay.
okay, so we will be doing the second Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. at the USD 420 High School Media Center. The next would designate the official banks, depositories as all banks in Osage City. Designate the official district newspapers, Osage County Herald Chronicle. Appoint representative in matters pertaining to federal funds, our superintendent, Mr. Hesslong. Appointment of Capers representative, Patty Brenner. Appointment of truant officer for the 21-22, I think that 22-23 school year as each of the building principals. All right, the next one is, I motion to adopt the resolution that the school term for the 22-23 school year shall consist of a minimum of 465 hours for kindergarten, 1,116 hours for grades 1 through 11, and 1,086 hours for grade 12, as recommended by the State Department of Education.
Second.
All right, now Patty, we'll go through our
Thank you.
random.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
All right, next. The home rule resolution was attached. This gives the rights of local controlled items to be under the board. Do I need to read the whole resolution for the motion? Do you know?
We never did.
Okay. So can I do the next resolutions as one motion, or do I need to do them all separately?
Let's do them separately.
Okay. I motion that we approve the home rule resolution.
Second.
Okay, Peterson.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
I motion that we waive the requirement of general accepted accounting principles and fixed asset accounting.
Second.
Okay, Bowen,
Aye.
William, or Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
I motion that we adopt the rescinding policy statements found in the board minutes.
Second.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bowen,
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
All right, we have appointment of special education and board representatives and 2 alternates. So the special education representative, Todd Peterson, if he's still okay with that. I'll be the first alternate and we need a second alternate.
Aye.
I think it's just an appointment. We don't even have to
I'll
vote.
do it, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Who were they again, your first?
Todd, Kelly, then PJ.
Thank you.
Appointing Corey Linton as the Recreation Commission member. Appointing the Site Council Board. Kat, would you like to still do elementary?
I didn't know if I could switch and do middle school now that my kids are there.
Okay, so Todd for elementary.
Unless somebody else wants it.
Oh, unless somebody else wants it. Do you want it, PJ?
I can do it.
Okay, so, all right. PJ for elementary, Kat for middle school, and Kelly for high school. So if everybody okay with that? Appoint the Community Foundation representative. Was that David before?
I've been doing.
Are you doing? Do you want to continue to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, Kat. Appoint Professional Development Council Board representative. Anybody want that role? They meet 3 times a week, just kidding. I was joking. No, I was joking. I was joking.
What does that position do? Do anyone know?
Doing it for 2 years.
I'm the professional development representative for the administration, and honestly,
She takes care of it.
we rarely meet because of our PDP toolbox.
Okay.
If there's something that needs to be agreed upon, then usually Dennis Ford, our president, will tell us that we need to meet.
If something changes with, how you accept points or different things that would need to be changed in the PDC handbook, then we get together as a group to talk about that, have a board rep as part of that, so.
And usually we try and meet like at 7:30 in the morning if we can.
I can keep it.
I could take that if you don't want it, but that's,
Todd, go for it.
I'll take that one.
Todd Peterson would love to do that.
Since I used to do that once upon a time.
Okay, there we go.
I went to a meeting
I thought it was gonna be some leadership training.
I-
I was all about it.
I know. All right, I think we are on now to the consent agenda. Any correspondence, before I'll do all this at the end, so any correspondence?
We did receive a thank you note from the chamber for allowing them to use the football stadium and the sound system for the community fireworks celebration. I was able to go out there and sit in the stands and watch the
Yeah.
fireworks, so that was cool. So they just shared a thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer report?
Do I
So,
do something there?
yes, in the past,
Well, I'm not prepared for that.
that's okay. We usually just hits like the highlights of any major ins or outs.
You want me to do it this first
Would you
time?
please?
Yes, completely makes sense.
Okay, in the general fund, we had a school specialty rebate, state of Kansas, we had our money come in and it bounced right back out to sped. We had our, every year, the high school reimburses the board office for any wood shop money taken in on projects and for band, and so that money came in at $2,972.42. We get a little bit of money from patrons that do the live stream, so there was the $69.41. We had more money come in, state of Kansas, that went into the general fund. Let's see, we had lots of money come in from the state, comes in little bit amounts at a time for different of the funds. You'll see that in the supplemental general and the general fund. The county treasurer, we had money come in for the supplemental, the LOB, and for bond and interest. And you'll see we had capital outlay, some money that came in from the treasurer for those funds. The county paid us in 2 sets of funds. We got a little bit when we should have, and then the rest of it came probably on about the 28th or 29th of June, so. Food service, we had our final money come in as reimbursements from the state. You'll see under career and post-secondary, we had $3,261 come in. We pay for this Brock Baxter to have this program project, can't think of the rest of it. Anyway, it cost about as much as we get reimbursed for, so it pretty well pays for the program there. Then on the second page, you'll see probably about 4th of the way down, state of Kansas in the bond and interest. We did not get our Build America bond interest money back. We should have had it in March. And by the time the state reimbursed the schools what they needed for bond and interest, we had not received our money. So the state paid us $64,642. 2 days later, we get our bill to bond interest of $86,377. We will keep that money, and not until we get audited in the spring of this year. So in February of 2024, they will take back their $64,000. So I tried to give it back 2 days after I got it, but they wouldn't take it, so. So we'll earn a little interest off their money. The Conrad Carlson Foundation, you'll see in gifts and grants, that's the money that they donated for the Gaga Pit. Have we got that yet?
Yes, we're having it put together on Friday.
And then state of Kansas, we got the remaining title money for our funds, and that wraps up the treasurer's report.
Any questions on specific bill payments? Are we good? Okay. I motion that we adopt the minutes of the regular board meeting of June 8th, 2022, approve the treasurer report of June 30th, 2022, reimburse.
Kelly, I'm sorry, I missed your cue. I do have a question on the board bills.
Yep, of course.
So Patty, it's on the very last page, and it's 3 Lakes, but it says 2020 Medicaid final settlement, and I didn't, it seems self-explanatory, but I didn't expect that to come in, so,
On the 3 Lakes, is that the one you said?
yeah.
We get Medicaid money in every June, and we keep, I'm gonna say probably about 5%, 4 or 5% of it, and the rest of it goes back to the co-op. And that kind of helps to try to keep our assessments down and things like that. And then we made our first assessment payment of $146,308. You'll see there's 2 different payments there.
And then all the items that we pay to Southeast Kansas Education, those are just all of our programs.
Those are
Green
yearly
Bush.
ones, yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Sorry, I did not pause for response. Very good. Okay, I motion that we adopt the minutes of the regular board meeting on June 8th, 2022, approve the treasurer's report June 30th, 2022, replenish the elementary school petty cash for $200 and middle school $17.99. Payment of the bills to be allowed in the total of $532,101.15 for July 13th, 2022, and the June, July, August 2022 payroll in the amount of $1,233,272.61.
Second.
Linton,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
All right, old business. So the first topic on the old business is additional COVID leave. I know we had received several inquiries from our staff on thoughts about adding discretionary days or what we could do to help with some of the COVID time that was spent in last school year. Todd and I did discuss, and we would like to propose and want to get your guys' feedback or any other thoughts that you guys had of adding 3 days to all staff of discretionary days versus auditing everybody, having to go through the work of who didn't have it, who was out because of it, and just try to help the teachers out, especially the ones that did end up having to use the majority, if not all their time, being either a new teacher, new to the district, got it, but then maybe was exposed to it, and just as a sign of goodwill, that was the proposal that we thought of.
Just for the upcoming school year.
Just for one time only, this school year, adding additional, they normally get the days that they get, but just adding 3 days to that. Any thoughts? And not being it would be for all the staff that gets the discretionary days.
So that costs us a lot of money.
So we did talk about that when we discussed it. It would be over such a long course of time. It'd add value to the ones that really need it, the ones that I believe our teachers are very good about not just using days just to use them, but just actually, as a sign of goodwill, knowing that it could take, they might not ever use them, and it doesn't cross get paid a day for every 5 when they retire.
So basically, they would get them for this next school year, right?
They would,
They could-
unused days, would they carry over?
Could carry over these unused days, just like,
3 to their balance, but that cost is not a single cost at a single time. It's taken a day here and a day there.
but it is a good
over
point
time.
that it is 3 days times every person times $100 for a sub. So it is
That's what I'm
significant?
talking about.
So I don't want our I don't say us associates, that's what I say at my job. But I would hate for our staff to think that this was just a minimal, this is a large gift to grant over the course of the time, because it's obviously, but we also want to balance, there were some, real people, there are people that were in a situation where they ran out of their days but you guys can, feel free, is there any other question or thoughts or suggestions? This is just kind of what we came up with.
Staff gets 5 for the year, is that correct?
They get 12.
Your classified staff gets 1 day for every month that they work, and your certified gets 12 days.
Yeah, I thought it's 12 days.
15 as
Mhm.
opposed to 12 for the.
And then 12 versus 9 or however that works out.
Yep, my initial reaction is I'm okay with it, just thinking about COVID that continues to hit and will it impact our staff as we roll into August and September. I just feel like it's gonna keep coming, they're gonna keep updating the guidance, and I wish I could have more some days too though, but
I come from a place that literally you use it or you lose it, and at the end of the year you have 0 and you start over every year. So I come from a very non-sympathetic place personally, just to everybody. So it took me a lot of brain circling and thinking and thinking through all this to even get to where I was.
yeah, it's part of the.
And it's part of their whole package, and I think it was as a sign of goodwill from the board that we do understand that this happened. It took me a while to get there. I'm not gonna say this was like just throwing out days, because I definitely come from a place where it's not like that at all, so.
Does anyone think it should be fewer days?
Or 0, we don't have to agree, this is just a thought. We said we would address it and discuss it, so this is the
The
time.
next thing we're gonna have to worry about is all them people get 3 extra days, are we gonna be able to get enough subs to cover them? Say that every teacher wants to use them, in the first 6 months, are we gonna be able to cover that many days? I mean.
I would
we
have to look,
problem
I would have to
now.
look to our
I mean,
admin.
We have problems now covering with subs now.
Well, but if they're sick, they would be gone and either get paid for it or not get paid for it, is what I'm thinking.
Well,
If they gotta be gone for COVID, they're gonna be gone for COVID, I mean.
for your certified staff, they can just take off to take off. It's not just sick leave. With your classified staff, it would be into their sick leave time. But you're certified, it's just 12 days a year.
There's just discretionary, there is no sick
Theirs isn't
leave.
divided out by sick.
Myself, I think it's a good idea. I think it shows goodwill toward them. I think the cost is spread over time. I think our building administrators are able to look at their staffing and I realize we have limits on our ability to stop people from using discretionary days. You know, there are some limits based on the contract for that, but still, I think we also have to trust that our staff is not going to take advantage of us. I don't believe they will.
Isn't there something already built in that they can't take so many consecutive
They
days?
can go 4 consecutive, and I think the 5th one they have to
Have to ask for approval essentially at that
Yeah.
point.
there might be something around the holidays, spring break as well. I can't remember for sure. But it seemed
Like a maximum.
well, it's like taking a week right before spring break and making it a 2-week vacation. Limited.
I think I cut off your question when you were talking to the admin, so I don't know if you guys have any concerns or
I
not.
think our staff would be responsible enough to, and if we get in a pinch from time to time, we've had to say that we don't, you know, if you're looking at this Friday, you know, we don't have enough subs, we're having a hard time finding subs, so, you know, obviously if someone comes up sick or something, we find a way to make it work, but I don't think our staff would take advantage of it.
All right, so any other thoughts? I'm assuming we're gonna have to make a motion.
Does this include administration, certified and classified, everyone?
Was my thought. That would be my motion.
Like we do it for them, we do it for them.
Is it emotional? It's a motion activity?
Well, you haven't officially made a motion, you just kind of.
No.
But yeah.
I know, I'm saying, is this something I have to make a motion to approve? Okay, I'm just confirming.
I think it would be wise.
Okay, go ahead, Todd, you can, or anybody can make the motion. I've made 20 already tonight.
I would move
Retro
that we
quote.
add
Yes.
3 discretionary days to all staff and
One, you know.
3 days of leave to all staff appropriate to discretionary or sick leave as it works within their contracts for the 22-23 school year only.
Second.
All right, Parsons.
Nay.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
All right. Sounds like we have an insurance claim.
Yes, my understanding on the gym roof, I'm not sure which gym roof it is, but to be honest with you, do you know which one?
Might be the middle school one that they fixed the leak
I
up there.
think it is in that area.
Okay, so they put out for bid for that on the insurance claim. Midwest Coating came in with the best bid, basically to replace what is up there right now at the 50 mil for the roofing, at a cost of $64,265. Again, it is an insurance claim, and it will have a deductible of $25,000 based on that claim. And due to hail damage is the reason for the replacement, is my understanding. So Midwest Coating was the best bid to, and Dan is on board with this and in the direction we need to go.
The 25 comes out of capital outlay.
Yeah, I think.
Ugh.
exactly, I'm like,
What do you do?
Do we need a motion on that since that's
Yes.
$25,000?
Yeah.
Over 20, yep.
I move we accept the bid of Midwest Coating and proceed with project to replace the roof on this. As one described.
I second.
That's described.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bowen.
Okay, we're done with old business. Time for new business.
Okay, typically at this time, it's my understanding you guys update any recommendations from KSB on policies. Every 6 months, they provide updates for districts to consider and review. Troy didn't get that done. I didn't have time to really mess with that. What I want to recommend is that the board sends our district policy handbooks or all our handbooks to KSB to what they call policy light audit. And basically they'll go through and make sure it's organized and we have the correct information, any updated information that needs to be updated. And then they'll send that back to the district on a hard drive. And then we as administrators will review that to make sure it lines up with the district thoughts and procedures and policies that we have. And then we will go through that with the board to take a final action to update the policy to make sure it is up to date as it can be based on the work that KSB does. Did this at a previous district. It was really good. We're not experts in policy. KSB is. Their lawyers look at it, they review it, and give us the updates. And it's a really nice format for us to review. And any tweaks we can make, we will make, but the board will have the final say of any policy updates or changes. So there's no recommendations for any updates tonight. Just basically kind of letting you know that's what we're going to do. It's I think $4,500 or something for that with KSB. But we feel like it just, with the transition, it just needs to be updated and reviewed for us to go over that. So, any questions?
yeah, so what does that cover again?
It'll cover just a review, all our district policies, even student handbooks are part of that. And they can review that and just give us feedback and thoughts. But ultimately, we'll bring it back to the board with all those changes for the board to approve and as we get it up to date and clean it up. So,
Okay, so here's my concern with this timing.
mhm.
Because as we go into the next school year, and like I reviewed some of the stuff that the admin team's already put together.
Right.
I mean, I'm a fan of some of it.
Yeah, right.
So if we wait for the audit to happen and then bring it back here, we would be implementing after school's already started, is that right?
Could possibly be, but I don't anticipate it being major issues or things that it just tweaks. Like the handbooks are pretty much, you guys have those standard and they're local decisions when it comes right down to it. I mean, honestly, just local decisions, but it could be just, maybe we're just not up, something didn't get updated as it should have, and they can review that as a general policy. And then, but it's not unprecedented to do it in the middle of the year if that's how long it takes, because it's going to take some time to do that.
Are we still going to go through what was offered up?
Yes, for the handbooks tonight, yes.
Okay, so then that could still be implemented.
Yes, oh, yeah.
That's part of the package.
Right, and yeah, and
Okay.
and the other is just some wording and update based on what's happened in the world today, those KSB recommendations. So we'll be okay. We'll just get it to them and then start that review process, but it will take some time.
Okay, yeah,
to
I
do
just
that.
didn't want to miss out on the opportunity.
Yeah, no,
to see
tonight's-
presented.
Yeah, as they are presented, yeah, we'll take action on those, but they'll just be reviewed. We'll get feedback and recommendations from the lawyers from KSB, and then we can do whatever we need to do to present that to the board to make updates as needed, so. Okay, any other questions about policy updates?
Revenue neutral rate form.
Okay, so in my comments I brought to you, I talked to you about, I shared with you the form. We met with Fred Meyer, Greenbush. We work with him. The district has worked with him on budget. So we went through it on Monday. What's presented to you there is the form of the revenue neutral form. I gotta get it called up here in a second. And as you can see at the bottom line is where you're looking at, in comparison for actual tax levied in 21-22, which was the $900,992.06. With the budget that we're doing, and this is not approved or not written in stone, but just the information that we have to get this form to the county clerk by July 20th. So tonight we're just letting you know that based on the information that we've done, the preliminary information we've done with the budget, there's going to be more taxes levied for the district, and that's mainly due to assessed evaluation. Our district's assessed evaluation went up. So therefore, you're going to have more taxes levied as you go through that. So we have to send this to the county clerk, and then she will notify patrons of any taxing entity that's not revenue neutral. A notice will be sent to all taxing people in the county or across the state for that matter to do that. So what we'll see is, as we have it right now,
General has to be 20, right?
right,
Okay, it's all coming back to me.
yeah,
Okay.
there's 20 mil on that.
It has to be 20, it stays
Yeah.
at 20.
Right.
Okay.
And when we submit this, the district will not be able to go over the tax rate that's established at the bottom right of that, the 30.569. And so we won't get over that as a district, but we're still kind of playing with the budget for you, and we'll give that to you information. We'll have the information in August. That is in the next agenda item. But basically what I'm letting you know is this is what's being sent to the county clerk to let them know that we're not going to be revenue neutral due to the assessed evaluation of our area. And then the county clerk will do what they need to do as it relates to that.
So the purpose of the 0.5 point increase for capital outlay, is that just because we've done projects over this last year, or we're going to be doing projects in capital?
Yeah, that's my anticipation. We have some track, the track needs to be resurfaced. There's some roofs that need some attention, and that's just from what I don't know about things that I felt like was a good, but again, the board will have to decide that, but a good cap. I think it's 0.3 or something more that is what we anticipate right now, but that's not saying that that's what it will be.
Yeah, it's
based on the review that you have that.
overall, it's like 0.3
Yeah.
something is the increase.
Yeah, but we won't be able to go any higher than what's listed in this form tonight that will be submitted to.
Right, so we submit this is the max, the
The
max
max,
submission. And the
right.
next month, I'm just remembering that
Yeah.
is when we go through all and approve the details, and it can
Yes.
even go lower, based when you guys are done with all
Based on what to the board, we present to the board and any changes that are made, so this is just to notify you and show you that what is being sent to the county clerk, and we have to
Perfect, now I'm remembering this.
send that by July 20th.
Do we do a hearing then? Or is this just?
September.
We'll share this, we'll give the information, the budget information in August. We'll set the hearings at the September board meeting.
Public can come and.
Yes, make comments, we'll post it in the paper, do all that. Yeah, and
Can't
so,
wait.
Yeah, it is. It's starting to sink in again.
yeah,
It
so,
started, I know, right? I know, it's like,
yeah.
it's
So
all,
at September will be the budget hearings and the R&R hearing.
Will this then be an annual now?
I
with
don't,
the state?
as of right now it is, I don't know if there will be a change. If somebody gets a bulk mail of something of this much of taxing entities, they might change that, with the pressure from the county clerk saying that's a lot of work for us. I don't know though, but that's what it is for right now, so.
okay, so we need to make a motion that we accept.
No, this is just notifying.
Okay, I saw action there.
Yeah,
So
that's my fault. I thought we had to do the resolution.
You already told me that before we
That's all right.
started.
It's okay, that's my fault,
I
but
took better notes.
but this is just letting you know this is what's being sent to the county
That was
clerk
the note.
and
Perfect.
for them to take action. Anything else on that, Patty, that you can think of?
All right, so number 3 is the budget schedule. Anything?
Yeah,
More detail
so
on that.
just like we talked about, July 20th, we have to send the revenue neutral rate form to the county clerk. At the August board meeting, we'll review the budget. We'll send that to you prior to, so you can generate your questions and things of that nature. Again, we just did this on Monday, so we still have some things to work through and get to know coming in. And then we'll publish that budget, send the notice to the publication. We just have to do it prior to September 2nd because it has to be in there 10 days before our next meeting, but we'll do it before that. I'm just saying prior to. So it'll be in the paper for 10 days, and then we'll have our revenue neutral and budget hearing on the night of September 14th board meeting. We'll do the revenue neutral rate hearing first, and then adopt the resolution, and then do the budget hearing following that on that evening. Any questions about the schedule?
It's all coming back. About 4 years in, we'll get it. All right, Todd, 3 Lakes report. Any updates?
We had our organizational meeting Monday night, went through, Eric, right, I can't remember his last name, from Linden is our board president, and, I lost her name. Anyway, we did get our officers, done, went through all of the normal list like we did here tonight on the things that we have to over there. We did talk a little bit about the amount of money that we had at the end of the year. They had the 10% carryover that's defined in the agreement, plus a little, I think there was another close to 500,000 that they determined how to use that, and it's designed in there to help us not have that fifth assessment. So their balances are in a good spot going in to start the year. They did cut one speech language pathologist that was going to do the teletherapy and replace that with something else that was at a lower cost. I think they went from like $150 rate to an $80 rate on switching those two people out. So we did do that. Trying to remember what else. That really was kind of the meat of it. It was a very quick meeting for going through all of the resolutions that we had to go through. Eric is a speed reader, and it's entertaining.
Take them on.
It is entertaining. So
All right,
that's it
thank
for me.
you. I like,
Can I ask a question? Todd, on that speech path, because that affects, I think, our elementary school.
Yep.
We lost one, so they are gonna be doing that teletherapy.
I believe so, yes. Well, I know I don't remember the exact numbers. We have a couple that are, I think we have two maybe that are in person and then teletherapy, or we have one in person and everybody else is teletherapy right now. I know they're having trouble finding the in-person.
I was just curious, because the last thing I knew that they were gonna be hiring a paraprofessional to actually monitor things here at our school, along with having Heather Estrada as the speech therapist. So,
I don't know at that level of detail for you.
I didn't get to go to the SAC meeting on Monday because Fred was here for the budget, so I could find out.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to them and see what's going on, but I wasn't able to attend.
thank you.
okay, I'd like to appoint Patty Brenner as the Freedom of Information Officer. I'd like to make a motion that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas be our health provider, and we'll continue that. Use our district using BCBS.
So,
Bellinger.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
I motion we authorize the superintendent to transfer funds as needed.
Second.
Who was the second? Was that you, Corey? Oh.
I'll let Kat have it.
Paper, scissors.
Sorry about that. Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
I motion that we use OFG Financial through Bay Bridge as our cafeteria plan.
Second.
Peterson.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
I'm going to appoint the superintendent as the hearing officer for our school food service appeals. I'm gonna appoint Patty Brenner as the food service representative. I want a motion that we set petty cash limits for the school year, superintendent 350, high school 200, middle school 200, elementary school 200.
second.
Bowen.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
I motion that we reimburse mileage at the rate of 56 cents per mile.
Second.
Litton.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
I motion, before I make this motion, on the substitute rate of $100 per day, we will still do that, the long-term that's still in place, correct? Do I need to make that motion or just keep the,
Well, I kinda think it's up to you if you wanna keep it in place until you decide you don't want.
I think we wanna keep it in place, I'm assuming. Yes, I'm getting a consensus, yes. So do I need to put that as part of the motion?
I mean, it's
I wouldn't think
established,
so.
it's already.
Established.
It's already in
Okay,
place.
perfect. Thank you. I just wanted to confirm.
Okay.
I make a motion, the substitute rate of $100 per day.
Second.
Parsons?
Aye.
Heppenstall?
Aye.
Peterson?
Aye.
Bowen?
Aye.
Linton?
Aye.
Bellinger?
Want to appoint the superintendent as the compliance coordinator for the federal title programs in section 504. Appoint Dan Fager as the asbestos representative. Appoint Mr. Hessong, the superintendent, to be the homeless children and education services coordinator. And now the superintendent report.
Okay, we're there. All right, good evening, everyone. Well,
Welcome.
we're here day 7, on the job, so, but it's been going great. So just a lot to review, and Troy left things in a good place for me to come in and step in. We're getting to know each other. Pam was at 4-H, the fair for the week, so we're just kind of getting acquainted with her. And Patty's been, showing me the ropes as we go through. So it's been a good transition. So just glad to be here and get started, and excited for the school year to upcome. And we haven't got a chance to meet as a team yet. Everybody's got something going on, but we're going to get that done at some point and start getting ready for the school year as that. So just glad to be here and appreciate the opportunity. So I just have a few things with a few days on the job. I sent out an email on my day 1 just inviting all staff members to come meet with me for an individual meeting. 1, to get to know staff personally, and 2, to ask 3 questions. Just to kind of get to know the district, the climate, and the culture, and as we go and move forward in the future, looking at the vision and then updating that. So I think I've had about 25 people in, maybe 20 to 25. I have several next week. I have a few meetings this week, so I'm getting ready for board meetings. So, but it's been a good opportunity to see some faces and learn their roles and get to know them and talk about more than just school stuff. But I want to invite that. The board is too. They were included in that email, but with the email thing getting reactivated. So, but if we can find some time, it doesn't have to be during the day. We can meet at night or whatever. We can work something out. But I'd like to have those same individual meetings with the board, again, to get to know each other personally, but as well as to ask my 3 questions to see where they're at, where you feel things are compared to what the people in the building do. So the idea behind that is, we've talked about this a little bit, I think, in the interview and just a few people, but it's my understanding the district's in year 5 of the KISA accreditation. We'll be finalizing that this upcoming school year. As we do that, actually, we found out we can have our meeting pretty early. I found that out today. So if we want to get it out of the way and get submitted for accreditation, we could do that. My plan then is to start talking in the second semester of looking at the vision statements. I know Troy's talked about those need to be evaluated as a district and start really establishing the next cycle for accreditation. So in the spring semester, we'll be looking at doing that, having some community meetings, taking the information I gather from these individual meetings and what I've learned through the district, and we'll start evaluating those vision statements, see where we line up with the State Board of Ed outcomes, how that fits into our district, and just really getting ready for that next cycle. And so that's the plan for moving into the spring semester. So do want to extend an invitation to all board members to set up a time to meet with me. It takes about 30 minutes is all. And so just that opportunity and to ask my 3 questions and get to know you. So really enjoyed the meeting so far. It's been a good way to get started and get to know people. So just to let you know, our bus inspections, vehicle inspections will be done August 5th. That's a Friday. And so we'll get those inspected before school starts. So we make sure we're up to snuff on that. So transportation's on my list after the board meeting to get kind of very familiar with that. I haven't had to do that for a while. So but just want to let you know we do have that set up for the bus and vehicle inspections that for August 5th. So also we're notified today that we received the Safe and Secure grant that Troy applied for. The state provided, I can't remember what the total amount was, but we applied for I think it was $8,000 something for mainly video surveillance. We'll have to do a match of that as a district. But we were notified today that we were approved for that grant. So I sent it to Andy and we'll get moving on that. We can start drawing down this month for that. So that's good. I know it sounds like there's some updates that need to be done with the video surveillance. So that was good news today to share with the board about the Safe and Secure grant. And lastly, it's my understanding that the part of the package for your KSB search, superintendent search, was a goal setting workshop with the board. Yes, we need to do some goal setting, but again, with that going into the 5th year of our cycle, that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll be looking at goal setting in the spring, talking about that. I really feel like we as a board, to get to know each other and our roles and responsibility is to have new board or just board member training from KSB. They do a great job to come in and we can have some time to talk. And I'm sure some goals kind of leading in that direction will come out of that and we can get an idea. But I've talked to Britton about that and he said he thinks they can make that happen for us instead of the goal. But they want to get that checked off their list of what the district picks. Yeah. So, but my recommendation is to do some board training where we can talk about superintendent roles, talk about more mineral roles, and just really come together as a team through that process. And I think that'll be good. I don't get any thoughts or feedback on that.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll get that set up and we'll get a date and make that happen. So that's all I have for my report of 7 days. So
Welcome.
Thank you.
You made it this far.
Yeah.
Okay, so we recommend everyone, recommend continuing the Test to Know program. So just as a reminder, we had shifted from Test to Stay and Play to Test to Know. By the end of the year, it was more of, if you need a test, we will provide one for you. And so it is the recommendation from the administration to just continue what we were doing at the end of the school year. Any thoughts, concerns? All right.
We still have the CLIA grant that all those tests will be paid for. The district doesn't have to pay for any. If we do have a person, they'll pay for that. So there's a budget for that. So it won't cost the district anything to continue that program. So that'll stay at least for another year is my understanding.
All right, so it looks like the next thing on the agenda is, we have to start paying for school lunches again. I know, it's been a blessing for many. All right, so, it looks like we have breakfast going to $2 for K through 12, $2.60 for the adults. Lunch, K through 5 going from so the last time we paid for breakfast was, for the full year, was 18 and 19. So for 4 years later, it looks like the recommendation is K through 5 going to $3, up a quarter more, 6 through 8, $3.10, a quarter more, 9 through 12 to $3.20, 30 cents more, and adult $4.75, which would be $1.05 more. Do you know why the adult's so much more than the high school kids?
We don't get reimbursement on adult meals, so an adult meal is always higher because you don't get any funds back from it. So I got these prices through KSDE. They run it through a calculator and it's based on our October expenses, and so that's how they come up with the prices for our lunches.
How many teachers do we usually have eat? A lot?
Not really. Might have we really have more paras probably that eat than the teachers. Might have 15 to 20 adults maybe a day, if that. But yeah, we don't get any state reimbursement on adult meals, so.
Do we have, is this just an
Yeah,
action? There is an action, okay. So I motion that we approve the meal prices that I went through for the 2022-23 school year.
So,
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Litton.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson. Bowen.
Aye. Okay, next we have classified handbook recommendation.
You missed
Milk bids, how could I forget milk?
Does a body good.
It does a body good.
Oh, they'll have to retake that picture, that mustache pic.
Oh, we're gonna have, welcome Natasha to the mustache picture.
Glad that light bulb popped up in my head.
Okay, I motion that we use Evco for our milk instead of Highland, saving $4,600.
Second.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
That's not changing anything, they're compatible, I mean, flavors for flavors, I guess, I mean, on all that
They
stuff.
get the exact same bid to price out, so. And prices will go up on milk, I'm sure, I think from last year, from beginning to end, it probably went up a nickel a carton.
Okay, so we have the next section is, I know we are going to go do a full audit for the handbooks, but we did have some recommendations. You wanna walk us through
Yeah,
it?
so just in visiting with Patty a little bit and just talking about that, we did this at my previous district is looking at sick leave and vacation, those two, they should be back to back, but it's prorating those days that they could take as a classified employee. Right now, they could take their sick leave as much as they want when they start, but we'd prorate this to once a month just for their first year. And after, if they're with us longer than a year, then they'd be able to go back to the way it was, so I don't know.
So right now, just to make sure I understand, so
Sure.
right now, everybody's granted, even if you're a new employee, the full year's days at the beginning of your,
Let's say we hire a custodian, I'll just say, in June or in January, they get, 1 day sick leave from January through August. So they would get 1 month each month that they worked, instead of getting all 8 days up front. And
so
then-
you basically work to get your days
Yeah.
for the first year, and then you'll get granted your
Then
next year.
when September comes, that's when their new contract starts, they will get all 12 days. And their vacation is, there's a calculated form that was done back in the 1990s. So it tells you how many days of vacation they get. So they might get 4 days, so we would kind of prorate that out for those 8 months that they work. And then in September, they would get their full days.
Okay,
Okay, so help me understand this a little bit more, because I mean, we just gave 3 additional days, but now we're saying, hey, but if you're new, you only get 1 per month. Like, what if there is a situation and they need to be out for 5 days in September? I'm assuming they take them.
can you go negative?
Right, that's.
I mean, yeah, that's part of that
Still
too.
get paid.
Yeah, well,
You
I
can
don't,
go-
I mean,
Can you go negative in your days?
Well, usually if you've run out of days and you're gone, I do a payroll deduct. I don't know, I'd have to probably see, have your district ever had anyone go negative that quick or?
no, not that I remember, but
So,
it's a possibility.
So to be fair, we'd almost have to give them those 3 days up front that we just voted on.
Yes.
And then
and
after
that's,
that, then we wouldn't.
Then they have 1 a month.
Yeah,
And then they have one a month.
one a month after that.
that's a good thought, yeah. So that's sick leave, same with vacation, to build up on that, prorate that, to monthly.
I'm thinking more we leave it as is, because you never know what's gonna happen with an individual in their personal life, and unless we're allowing to go negative and not do a payroll deduct.
I think the issue is, if I'm understanding, like if we hire someone and then they quit on us and then
It's
they,
less classified and more,
and they
or
take
more.
their sick days, they get paid for those, and then we still have to pay them, but yet they resign as whatever. So it's just kind of protecting the district in a way that, you know, you're not.
Is it a non-contract versus a contract employee that,
This
This
is
is just-
classified.
oh, this is for classified, oh my God, this is the classified handbook.
Yeah.
I think as a classified, I'm okay not giving them everything up front. I'm okay with the recommendation personally.
The bereavement leave is just lines up with what's in the negotiated agreement. It's very similar. It's the same. Is that right?
certified went to 5 days for family, and then when we did Ted's contract, we put that in there 5 days. It's so much easier if everyone's running on the same policy, so. And when you would read the wording on the classified, it was really confusing. I don't know if you have the old policy in front of you or just the new, but
So this would just make them all match.
everyone
Yeah.
would be the same.
And then lastly, the time sheet's just clocking in no sooner than 5 minutes before your scheduled time as directed by and approved, as directed by the supervisor, but if they needed to clock in earlier, that'd be approved by their supervisor. So those would be the updates in the classified handbook for the upcoming school year.
Any other questions, thoughts on this one? I motion we make the updates on the classified handbook as of today, as presented.
Heppenstall. Aye. Bowen.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
All right, student handbooks.
So I shared with you, elementary just has some allergy updates. I don't know if you wanna.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Lisa, our school nurse, Lisa Pretal, and I had talked about this, but we just thought with all of the allergies that students come in with, it's not just a peanut allergy anymore, it's any kind of allergy. And sometimes our staff, we're not aware of it until it's too late. So we just thought, let's just try and take as much out of that situation as possible. And so she kind of did some research for me and found out stuff that would be not acceptable probably in a public setting, like a classroom. And the only way that they can have those things, the teachers or even the students, is that if it's approved by the school nurse. Because that way we usually have, if a student has an allergy to something, let's just say it might be peanuts, or it might be cinnamon, or it may be essential oils of some sort, who knows? She usually has all that stuff on file. So that's what mine's about.
So then if, like, let's say all of third grade, if there aren't any children that have allergies like that, they could potentially use this stuff with approval.
Could, potentially, yes.
All right, middle school didn't have any updates, correct? Just update the information, general information about staff and things, if those changes to do that. So it did have a few updates in the high school. I'll take questions if you have them. Natasha presented that. She met with staff when she was hired, and so she gathered some information. She's talked to students as well to kind of get this, to make this recommendation for tonight. So if you have questions specifically, we can answer them.
Natasha, I had one question.
Sure.
Let me find it here. So it's second paragraph where it starts with electronic devices / cell phones. Yeah. So I like how you say that, you know, it's like you can use before, after school, during passing periods, and at lunch, but then you move into earbuds and headphones, and what I couldn't quite grasp is whether those are also considered electronic devices or something separate.
I think they're kind of, I mean, it's kind of an electronic device in itself. I think that the big issue is what's happening is sometimes, from what I understand after meeting with teachers, is that a lot of the times when kids are walking down the hallway, they like to put their earbuds in, and then they'll put their hood up. And so then even if a teacher's trying to get their attention, they can't get their attention. I feel like that's also a safety concern. You know, if we have any alarms or bells that go off and their music's up loud, they may not hear that at the same time. And then I think a big one was sometimes when they have their cell phones, they'll be listening to music in class with their earbuds in, and a teacher hasn't given them permission. So they're not hearing any of the instruction that's being given to them. Does that clarify?
Yeah, so I would just recommend,
Sure.
we have examples of electronic devices include but are not limited to,
Uh-huh.
I would add in earbuds and headphones. Because I took it as there could be a way out,
Sure.
that hey, that's not listed as electronic device, therefore I could use them at other periods.
Okay, so say that one more time, Kat, if you would for me.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, thank you.
And the other question I had is, Tim, do we have anything like this, or is there a need for this for junior high?
Ours is no cell phones before or after school, same things, electric devices. They
That's already
put them in their locker before school, get them out after school.
And then if they get caught, Mr. Reaman has to call the parent to come get it.
They get
I'm not
sent
speaking from experience.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, it's maybe happened at my house.
That works pretty well.
Yeah. I like the number, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I looked at several districts' cell phone policies and they're kind of all over the place, to be honest. Like North Lyon County, I mean, they completely took away cell phones and smartwatches, like all the way. And then some schools allow them all the time. So I felt like after meeting with teachers, I wanted to still allow students to use them and give them time to utilize them because they're not going away. But I feel like if we're wanting instruction to get better, we have to have a way to kind of look into that and give those teachers permission to say, hey, no cell phones right now.
And I think that, I think this is good. I think in the world of helicopter parenting that we live in today as well, and having the ability to communicate to your student if you need to, even though I know they're not gonna see this until between classes or at
Right.
lunch, but I need them to know X, Y, or Z. I think it's a good middle ground of where you landed on this. And then the cameras.
Yeah, and then my only question on the cameras was whether we need to do the same thing, first offense through fourth offense, or if cameras is still part of the electronic devices anyway.
I think cameras go straight to a worse offense, especially when it comes to restrooms, locker rooms. But anyway, Natasha, what's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, initially that was just my thought because, you know, the biggest one used is Snapchat right now. And so, you know, that disappears like that. So it's kind of hard to be able to trace it. But I feel like, I just feel like I need some type of policy to be able to
Go back on.
and say, okay, this was used during this time, especially in bathrooms, locker rooms, things like that. I mean, I think on some locker rooms, we have no camera, no cell phone sign, but I mean,
We haven't
How do you-
defined any, I can't think of the word, consequence of doing it, thank you.
so either or we could go back and we could add, I could add more offenses, or we could just kind of stick with
I mean,
the
I'm okay with the
offenses
first,
that are in there.
just add the cameras to the first, second, third.
Well, if, on a camera, they've taken the photo, they've taken the video. So if it's an infringement on privacy, that could become a civic matter,
Versus that, yeah.
which is a lot more severe than just putting
I
your
think not having the
earbuds.
consequences listed like you do above, that gives her the flexibility to deal with each situation individually. That'd be on her to do that. You know, if it is severe as it is with the privacy in the locker room, something like that, I mean, those are automatics, you know. there's
Right,
Major consequences that come for that. So that allows the flexibility of her to make some decisions based on the individual situation as it is.
I agree, sounds good. Hats make me laugh.
Do you know, I don't know, I'm telling you, when I met with teachers, I know it.
I can see hoods being annoying, but hats in life, I've got a couple of board members in hats right now, I'm not offended, they're paying attention.
I had to take it off my head.
I know, right? And a lot of our high school students do too, so I just,
Yeah, I think it just goes back to like respectful tradition and
Uh-huh.
things like that, when you come into the building, you know, you take your hat off. So I think that was just a big thing, yeah, with some of the staff members as well.
See, I saw more kids with, what should we call?
But
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like ski caps, like stuff that covered your ears so that you could put stuff behind it, just like a hoodie. There's so many. Kids are so creative.
uh-huh. Okay, all right, crowd behavior. made by the assistant principal. We haven't even had an assistant principal in the last years. In the absence of the principal, the termination shall be made with the activities director or person designated. Perfect. Students are- And then alcohol's the last one, it looks like, students are.
So do we have the authority and or ability to administer a breathalyzer test?
Yes, we do. I did check with Officer Felix on that. It's actually also listed somewhere else in the handbook in like a different section. I kind of explained that I feel like it's kind of all over the place, unorganized, so my goal for next year is to kind of put all the things together, but alcohol, if you look through our handbook, alcohol was like listed several different places, and so I feel like it all just kind of needs to be combined and
KSAB might
one.
help us with that too, when they do their audit,
Yes, yeah.
So is this administered by
the CRO, the
the
SRO.
SRO or the nurse or by
SR.
the?
It'd have to be somebody that's trained in reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
And so all transportation directors are, as part of that package. Admin typically, are you guys trained in that? I mean, some are, but all SROs are trained in reasonable, if they have reasonable suspicion that someone's under the influence, and they can conduct the breathalyzer test.
There is a
I just wanna make sure
breathalyzer
that
in my
we-
office
I wanna make sure if we
right
put it in
now,
there, we can do it.
Maybe we can,
Do we have anything in regards to other impairments
versus just straight alcohol.
versus just alcohol?
I think it falls anything reasonable suspicion of under the influence of something. I don't know if I don't know of anything that we have to test for that.
I was wondering if we should just broaden this to not just alcohol, but just, I don't know,
We
impairment.
still have a random drug testing, I believe.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
So-
and
Yeah,
that's,
but I mean, if somebody shows up and they're
Clearly,
Again,
suspiciously,
that would be under the SRO's, purview to make those calls to
but
do that.
if we don't have anything that specifically details that,
do we have a drug?
I think so, yes, if there is a
There's already a
drug
section on drugs.
if there
on
is,
it.
that's great.
I would assume there
Yeah.
is.
I just wanted
I
to,
think we included that as part of the random drug testing, there was also
Oh, yeah.
an impairment piece maybe in there, but I don't.
Is there anything on vaping? I mean, in there,
Vaping is along the lines with the drugs, yes, it does.
Okay.
But going back to having like a consistent offense,
Yeah.
kinda like the cell phone does, that's what I like about it, so then all the kids know, no, there's nothing like that in there. I think it just says like administrator gets basically to choose like what their offense is.
So that would be also good when we as we're looking at all those things, to understand what kind of the state standard is, what the recommendation would be, and obviously, we all have the final call, but it'll just be, there are obviously some guardrails around that will be really, it's more black and white guardrails versus just kind of, it's all up to you,
Right.
you and Mr. Hessong to make the decision. Okay, any other questions on the high school or elementary or high school handbook? I make a motion that we approve the recommendations to the student handbook for 22-23 school year
We'll make that change, Kat.
with the changes discussed on the camera.
Second.
Peterson.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bellinger. Aye. Happenstuff.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Linton.
All right. It's weird when you're in a document and I can see you typing it.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, wait, he's typing, but it's moving. Okay, we have a district gift.
Yes, so it's my understanding the Fort family is wanting to donate some chairs. For basketball games, I think, for the players to sit on through the memorial fund for their son. So I'm not sure what the total is. I can't remember.
But they already have purchased the chairs, correct? They're literally just donating the chairs,
Yes.
they're not donating money. The chairs have already been purchased.
Yes.
We have ordered the chairs, when we ordered them, they were about 10 weeks out, so, once you approve this, then we will deposit the money, so.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I wanna say it was 4,900 or 4,600.
I move we accept the donation from the Ford family and do our best to use that as desired by them to purchase the chairs.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Almost snuck one in.
That's pretty good though. We went a long
We
way.
went a long time without that.
Bowen,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Vote twice.
Aye.
I'm really in favor of
You're really in favor of it.
it.
All right. The luncheon.
Yeah, so a few of the people that I met with have brought this up, how much they appreciate the luncheons that the board provides. They think it's a good way to start the year, end the year. So it's my understanding Troy reached out, brought this to the board that we use Maryland's for that first meal of the year. So that sounds like a great thing to me to do that. So, but you're welcome to attend. Let us know.
Is it on the 12th or is it on Thursday?
It's
Oh, good call.
I don't
Thursday.
have that.
This first day of school is Friday the 12th.
Thursday is it
Thursday.
the work day?
The 11th.
The
During-
11th.
Yeah, the 11th. Do I have the wrong day on it? Oh.
I move that we have a faculty staff luncheon on Thursday, August 11th.
Second.
Linton.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye. I move we go into executive session to discuss confidential personnel matters pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under COMA, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom at 8:45. And with Mr. Hessong present.
So,
Parsons.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Around 5 to 2 right now.
It hasn't been this early. I was trying, in my head, it would have been like 9 something. And until 9 o'clock with Ted present.
You gotta do, I'm sorry, you gotta do the
Yeah, you gotta read it.
Just kidding. Anyone saw that on camera? I was just being, that was a joke. I move we go into executive session to discuss confidential personnel matters pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception under Coleman. The opening meeting will resume in the boardroom at 9 p.m. The board invites Mr. Hessong to attend.
Second.
Okay, let's go with Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Okay, excellent. I approve, we accept the retirement of Tammy Brav, the resignation of Diana Arnett. We extend offer to the high school, or accept the recommendation of the high school assistant volleyball coach to Amy Lohmeyer, sixth grade teacher Joni Fay, high school industrial arts Josh Brab. We recommend, or we motion to give all classified 50-cent raises this year. And give a raise to, we are working towards market adjustments for our administration to get them closest to market value, closer to market value. Tim Reeman, a motion for an increased salary of $4,500, and Dina Paul increased salary of $4,200.
Second.
Bellinger.
Aye.
Carson.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
They didn't wanna do the random on that last one.
They did, okay.
I told them they had to.
She said we had to, so we're waiting.
Alright, Bellinger.
Aye.
Linton.
Aye.
Parsons.
Aye.
Bowen.
Aye.
Heppenstall.
Aye.
Peterson.
I almost said nay, just, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.